In this video, I asked my subscribers to send me in their best gaming setups, and some of these are actually insane. So first up, we have Jaden L7's gaming setup, and he has this really clean purple design going on throughout the entire room. I really do like the sleek design of his desk, and I think it's cool because it's kind of in a nice spot because you can look out and kind of see the area he's in, like see the city maybe. But honestly, it's just like a comfy, cozy setup, and as you can see over here, he has a console section with the shoes displayed. I think that's really cool because it adds that personal aspect to it. He's definitely into shoes. I would honestly recommend to mount those two, and it would look honestly a lot cleaner. Also, a cable rack on the bottom would do him a pretty good service, and to be honest, I think the CPU cooler just can't be changed, otherwise it would have been purple by now, but obviously there's nothing you can really do about that. But it's just like a chill setup. I think you could add a couple things to make it pop more, but other than that, I think it's pretty clean, and I'm gonna go ahead and give it 7 out of 10. Next up, we got Cardi B Lover's gaming setup. Now off the bat, this is one of the most clean setups I've seen in a long time, and the main reason for that is just because it's so unique. Normally you see all these gaming setups with crazy colors, LEDs, RGB, everything like that. This is just so much more mellow, more calm, almost cozy. We can see that he has this really big theme of plants going on, and he has a cool car background also on the monitor, which honestly seems kind of out of place, but I think it fits, especially just with the setup overall. There's a lot of small attention to detail. There's the green walls in the background, there's the plant posters, there's even the LED clock, which I recommended you guys a while ago. I'm telling you, it's a great addition to the setup. And while that's very good though, there still are a couple of flaws. I would recommend to actually mount his monitor, and then I would also recommend to mount the mic. The mic looks good, it's just having that big cable in the middle and having that stand in the way is just kind of a hassle. So just getting like a sleek boom arm to put it in the back of the desk could just look really good. And then honestly, just a single monitor mount I think would make a setup look way cleaner. This is a great example of just making a setup about what you like. So honestly, to Cardi B Lover, I'm gonna give him a 9 out of 10 on this very clean, cozy, relaxing, and personal setup. Now let's take a look at Knight's gaming setup, and as you can see, he's rocking this whole double setup. His white PC case and just blue purplish LEDs throughout the room is really nice. I like how the color is very consistent and the peripherals match with that color theme as well. One thing he did a great job on was not overcrowding the desks, because if you have 4 monitors on one desk and you're trying to share like 2 PCs, I would expect that the desk would be really cluttered. He has the mic mounted, he has the peripherals right there, and nothing is really too out of place. The actual room part is very clean. There's definitely a lot of personalization going on with the posters on the wall and everything like that. He even got a cute little kitty on that beanbag right there. It's a little bit cluttered in the back, as you can tell, but the main floor is pretty much spotless, and whose room isn't a little bit dirty anyway. Really, my only piece of advice I could give is maybe add some stuff on the walls. I think that would look really cool on the setup, just maybe like 1 floating shelf or 2. And honestly, the background is clean. I just think if you want to do something that you like, maybe some ocean scene or something like that, could just be better than some hexagon panels. But of course, it's all preference, and I actually don't think the background looks bad at all, just really a suggestion. So yeah, great job tonight, and I'm gonna give him an 8.5 out of 10 on this setup. Next setup we're gonna be taking a look at is Glitch Hunter's gaming setup right here. Now let's just take a moment to appreciate how clean this is. Everything from the 3D hexagon panels to the white sleek design of the chair just looks so good. I love this vibe that is going for with just this white and black kind of contrast. It just looks so good together, and what makes it so good too is the incorporation of the fake plants with that wood kind of theme, because you have that dark wood theme with the handrest, and then you also have that, you know, frame on the left. And I don't know, it kind of just creates this nice vibe of like contrast of colors, but just like this modern-esque personal theme. I don't know, it just looks so good. I love the choice of using the Beats headphones to go as the headset because it just looks so unique, but that just looks so good. I'm glad that he added the personalization of the poster on the left, but it's really the only thing that doesn't directly fit in. My advice to him would be to actually add either a white or a black frame around the edge of that poster, and then you could remount it back onto what it's on right now. That way you still kind of have that pop of white, black, and then you still have that contrast of colors without it just being blatantly there, because as you can tell, it kind of has that cyberpunk, you know, all these different colors in your face, which doesn't really match the entire vibe of the setup. But other than that, it's just so great. I love how he has his own logo on the background, and the selection of peripherals was great. This is just such an amazing setup overall. I love the incorporation of everything into the setup because it's personal to him, and this is pretty much just a picture perfect setup. Another thing I do want to point out though is there's that little 3D hexagon thing right on top of the monitor, which is like the only really thing that's throwing me off a little bit. But I think if you were just to move that directly in the middle of both of the monitors instead of just being kind of to the off center a little bit, then I think that would probably be the best. I do understand though, because it's going to be probably really hard to do it that way, especially since you have all the different protruding shapes of the 3D hexagon panels. But he even went as far to change his desktop icons, and I think this is just such an amazing setup. I love the mouse pad. The chair looks so clean. The wood handrest on the keyboard was so creative. He even has white monitor mounts, and I don't see cables like literally anywhere. There's no cables in this picture. It just looks so good. For that, honestly, I'm going to give Glitch Hunter a 10 out of 10. This setup is so perfect. Obviously, I did say you could add that frame on the back, and then that could also kind of help cover up the cable of the LED bar. But other than that, it just looks so good. I would love to have this set up, but this kid just did an amazing job overall, and he's going to be very successful in the future, especially with how he's building stuff right now. The next setup we're going to be taking a look at is Silo's aqua themed gaming setup. Now, I do like a lot of the things that he has going on in the setup. He has that consistent color, he has the Quadcast S in that aqua color, and he even has the background to match it. Another thing I really do like is how he has the LED strip around the back side of the L-shaped desk, and you can clearly tell because it kind of has that, you know, back glow effect and it shows off to the walls. I also do notice that he has the double monitor layout going. He has one horizontal, then he has one vertical. My first recommendation though would be to actually try and move the vertical monitor in the middle of the horizontal one, and then that way you have that more even effect and it just looks better. I don't know, it's just kind of like a weird angle when there's just protruding out of the top. Also, I do notice how you have the L-shaped desk, but you have your equipment right in the corner of it. I think that isn't really the best decision when building because I feel like you could hit your elbow when moving your mouse unless you play like really high sensitivity. But if it's really not that bad, then I don't think it is. It just kind of looks like you'd be a little bit crammed up, especially with the way that your keyboard and mouse are placed. So I would honestly suggest trying moving your entire setup onto one of the sides of the L-shaped desk, and I think that could look really, really cool. It does look like he has some high quality peripherals, so that's definitely a plus. But my man, I do have to point out the cables. I would recommend just getting a cable box, getting a cable rack, or just getting some simple zip ties to get that stuff together. And I believe that's the S Racer chair that I used to have, and honestly it's a pretty good gaming chair, and it definitely goes with his aqua color. There isn't too much personalization going on, honestly. I think that might be something on the wall, so correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's just kind of like a cool design up there. I can't exactly tell what it is. And honestly, shout out laptop gamers. I'm honestly proud that you put that on the desk and you're not scared to show it off. But yeah, it's definitely kind of a chill, comfy setup. It's not the best I've ever seen, but it's definitely not the worst. And this setup has honestly a decent amount of room for improvement, but there are definitely a lot of things going great for it. So overall, for Silo's setup, I'm going to go ahead and give him a 6.5 out of 10. I think it's a pretty cool setup, but it definitely could use some work. And now we're going to be looking at Z's gaming setup. Now, honestly, I really do like this setup, even though it's not too appealing to the eye. And for that reason is because since it's built around that white and that stagnant white RGB color, any really color that you put with it is going to stand out even more. That's why I really like his themed keycaps, because they pop out so much more with the white Model O and the white topographic mousepad. Even the PC itself has that white RGB effect, and I really think that looks good. He has the cool side panel on the wall, which is good for putting up some personalization because you can just like put little things on there and it just looks really cool. And I like how you have that natural lighting because it's going to be right behind a window. And of course, he implemented the fake plants, which is always a plus when you're building your setup. I really do like this setup, but I definitely would just mount the monitor. First time I mounted my single monitor and honestly changed the game because I just had so much more space in front of me to do whatever I want, and it just helped the desk look so much more clean. But I also do like how you have the candle going because it's definitely a plus to get the room smelling good. I don't even know if this makes sense, but I feel like the right adjective to describe this setup is like healthy. Like it just seems like a good, healthy, vibey setup. Like I don't even know if that makes sense, but it's just, if you know, you know. I also do notice that RGB color on the back, so I assume that you put some LED lights or an LED bar on the side, so I think that's kind of a cool addition. If it's only on the left, I would recommend to do it on the right side as well, because then it could just have that even effect. I can't directly tell because it's on the left side the most and then like partially on the back wall, so maybe it is there or not, but if it's not, I would just definitely recommend adding something on that side as well. I do like how he added a bunch of stickers to his PC. I'm definitely not the guy to do that, but I think it's always cool to do that because it's just like it's just an easy way to put some more personalization in your setups without having any really cost at all. I think I would remove one of the fake plants, and then that way you don't have as much clutter on the desk, and then maybe just put away the candles when you're not using them, and then that way you don't have that sitting on your desk when you're trying to do stuff. Add some stuff to the back wall because you're really focused on what's going on in the setup and to the left, but the back wall is just left completely bare with just the window showing. So maybe a poster. I think some floating shelves would look great. Just getting some from like Lowe's, some white floating shelves for like 20 bucks would look great, and that would complement your setup colors so well. So yeah, overall I'm gonna rate Z's gaming setup a 7 out of 10. He has a little bit of work to do, but honestly it's definitely far from being bad. So yeah, nice work, Z. Alright guys, so that was me rating all of my subscriber setups. Be sure to drop in the comments which one was your favorite. I really hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, please consider dropping a like and maybe a sub if you like the other content. These kind of videos are always so fun to make, so be sure to join my Discord. First link in the description. That's how all of these setups were sent into me. And I also have a series over on YouTube Shorts where I rate everyone's setups, but it's just more of a short form content. But yeah, I think that's all I have for you guys, so I think I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace out.